Find out anything, dear?
Oh, sure, everything.
And?
He said he was reading.
Paul's been acting very strange the last few days.
He's been acting strange since he was born.
This is different. I'm worried.
So am I. I don't know which is going to go first, the ceiling or my nerves.
What if the perfect family you grew up watching was hiding secrets darker than any script could ever reveal? Father Knows Best seemed like the picture of wholesome American life. But behind the smiling faces and heartfelt lessons was a reality filled with emotional breakdowns, jealousy, silent rivalries, and painful personal struggles that were never meant to be seen. One beloved actress broke down in tears behind the scenes. Another carried a haunting real-life trauma while playing the role of a cheerful little girl. And the man who helped shape the show's heart was fighting a creative battle that nearly tore the production apart. Was this iconic family sitcom a comforting illusion or a carefully constructed mask? Stay with us because the truth behind this golden era classic is far more heartbreaking and far more human than anyone expected. What really happened behind the walls of Springfield's most famous home? You're about to find out. Before it became a beloved television classic, Father Knows Best was a modest radio show that aired every Thursday night on NBC, sponsored by Maxwell House Coffee. The early version painted a far more sarcastic picture of family life. Jim Anderson, voiced by Robert Young, was sharp-tongued and often called his kids' names, a form of humor accepted in those times. Still, listeners related to him. He made mistakes, lost his temper, but always tried to do the right thing. That humanity struck a chord, but the real transformation came in 1954, when the show made the leap to television. It stumbled out of the gate. CBS placed it in a terrible time slot, and audiences barely noticed. Ratings tanked. The show was canceled after just one season, but then came the twist no one expected. Thousands of fans flooded CBS with letters, begging them to bring it back. It teaches values, many wrote. It brings our family together. That flood of emotion gave the show a second chance. NBC picked it up, changed the time slot, and suddenly, America fell in love. By its final season in 1960, Father Knows Best was a national favorite, ranking 6th in the Nielsen ratings. And yet, what fans never saw was how deeply the real lives of the cast contradicted the fictional harmony on screen. Robert Young, the wise and gentle patriarch on the show, was silently battling depression and alcoholism. Even at the height of his fame, he was haunted by self-doubt, fear of financial collapse, and crippling migraines. The smile he wore for millions of viewers hid a world of pain. Off-camera, alcohol became his crutch. His wife Betty held him together when he was on the verge of giving up completely. In 1991, at 83, Young attempted to take his life. He survived and credited Betty for saving him and pushing him toward treatment and recovery. He joined Alcoholics Anonymous and fought to reclaim his peace. The man who America believed had it all was in truth breaking inside. Then there was Lauren Chapin, adorable, playful Kathy Anderson, known to fans as Kitten. Her on-screen innocence masked a nightmare childhood. Off-screen, she lived through abuse, abandonment, and betrayal. Acting became her refuge. The show, she later said, was her saving grace. But when it ended, so did her sense of safety. Typecast and forgotten, she slipped into addiction and despair. She was lost in a world that no longer wanted her. Her turning point came in 1979 in the most unexpected place: jail. A priest there helped her rediscover faith, and she clawed her way back to sobriety. From that moment on, she dedicated her life to helping others avoid the darkness she had barely escaped. Billy Gray, who played Bud Anderson, couldn't have been more different from his character. While Bud was goofy and innocent, Gray was a rebel. He loved motorcycles and music, and Hollywood didn't know what to do with him. In 1962, he was arrested after marijuana stems, and seeds were found in his car. The media pounced. Overnight, he went from America's golden boy to a cautionary tale. Jobs vanished. His career was over. But instead of disappearing, Gray turned to speedway racing and building custom bikes. He never returned to the spotlight, but he found freedom in a world far removed from showbiz and later became an advocate for marijuana reform, using his story to fight for justice. Eleanor Donahue, the charming Betty Anderson, also struggled with her identity. Producers initially rejected her for being too plain, then told her she looked too glamorous. When she finally landed the audition, nerves got the best of her. She forgot her lines and cried in front of Robert Young, but Young gave her a second chance. That gesture changed everything. Donahue got the part, but the internal battle never ended. She was deeply self-critical and couldn't even watch her own performances. After the show, she joined the Andy Griffith Show but felt like an outsider and left after one season. Fame hadn't given her fulfillment, only more doubt. And then there was Jane Wyatt, who played Margaret Anderson, the quintessential 1950s housewife. Kind, poised, perfect. But Wyatt wanted more for her character. She pushed for deeper storylines, and in one episode, A Medal for Margaret, her efforts paid off. The family finally acknowledged her sacrifices. Still, Wyatt longed to portray a woman with intellect and curiosity, not just one stuck in the kitchen. Though limited by the times, she infused Margaret with quiet dignity that resonated with viewers. Behind the scenes, executive producer Eugene Rodney insisted every episode carry a moral weight. He believed TV should shape hearts and minds, not just offer easy laughs. He even rejected writers who didn't feel emotionally connected to the story. He and Robert Young worked tirelessly to craft episodes that reflected real values: respect, responsibility, and love. But all the warmth on screen couldn't save the cast from the pressures of fame. These were real people crushed beneath the expectations of perfection. The success of Father Knows Best came with a price. And yet, through the pain, some found redemption. Others found new paths. All of them left behind more than a show, they left behind a legacy. Billy Gray, once the mischievous bud, took a completely different path. After the show ended, he distanced himself from the squeaky clean image. He turned to motorcycle design and became a successful inventor, even patenting safety devices. While his net worth today is around $1.5 million, Gray has always downplayed fame, calling Father Knows Best a sugar-coated lie. That blunt honesty shocked fans but earned respect in Hollywood circles. His life offers a fascinating twist, how a teen heartthrob chose craftsmanship over celebrity. His legacy isn't just about acting, it's about rejecting the illusion of perfection the show once sold. Robert Young, who played the ideal father Jim Anderson, battled his own emotional demons throughout his life. Despite being the show's co-owner and creative force, Young struggled with his mental health. In later years, he became an advocate for awareness and founded the Robert Young Center for Community Mental Health. His financial legacy was immense. During the show's run, he earned the equivalent of millions today through acting, co-ownership rights, and smart investments. At his peak, his net worth topped $15 million, and even decades after his passing, royalties and reruns continue to generate income for his estate. Yet, it's his emotional openness in his later years that truly defines his legacy. Jane Wyatt, who played Margaret, managed to blend career longevity with graceful aging. After Father Knows Best, she transitioned into respected roles in shows like Star Trek and continued acting into her 80s. Known for her dignity on and off screen, her investments in real estate and early stock holdings helped her maintain a strong financial portfolio. Her net worth at the time of her passing was estimated at $20 million, quietly built over decades of careful choices. Her life proved that being the TV mom didn't mean being frozen in time. It meant evolving, thriving, and keeping one's integrity intact. As for Eugene Rodney, the co-creator with a burning passion for authenticity, his influence extended far beyond the scripts. Though not a celebrity in the traditional sense, his insistence on real emotion changed the language of TV storytelling. His behind-the-scenes contributions didn't lead to wealth in the way it did for stars like Young or Wyatt, but his creative stamp on family TV remains priceless. Even now, the formula lives on. The nostalgia for Father Knows Best taps into more than vintage aesthetics. It hits the nerve of a generation that grew up chasing a version of happiness that felt just out of reach. And as fans revisit these characters, Betty, Bud, Kathy, Jim, Margaret, not for who they played, but for who they were, a deeper connection emerges. Behind every neatly tied-up episode was a cast wrestling with real-life messiness. It's that raw humanity that continues to echo, long after the lights faded from the Springfield set.